Good afternoon, LinkedIn. Today I am joined by my lovely guest, Tiziana. Today we're going to be chatting a lot about security and especially what Tiziana is used to selling with their solutions wise. Just give you a bit of an intro to myself. So I work at ESP. I'm an IT sales recruiter. Places that we've worked for in the past are Tufin, Checkpoint and Fortinet. Tiziana, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Tiziana De Cinque. As you can hear from my accent, I'm Italian. I've been living in London for 22 years, and I run the channel for parts of Southern and Central Europe for a cybersecurity company called Encipher, now part of Entrust. My main role in the company as a channel manager is partner recruitment, enablement, and management.
Fab stuff. So today we're going to be talking a lot about what Tiziana sells in particular in the security world. So the first question I want to ask her today is what security solutions have you sold in particular, and where have you driven the customer's agenda really?
Okay. So let me make a premise here, Chloe. What my company does is probably one of the best kept secret in cybersecurity. Company put the word cybersecurity in the website or they talk about it. But when I ask, do you know what the hardware security module is, HSM, I'm met with blank stares. So I'll explain it to you and to the wider public. An HSM is a hardened physical device for crypto operation. It is used to protect and manage cryptographic keys for encryption, decryption, authentication of a variety of applications. Examples, e-invoice, e-signature, IoT, blockchain, crypto wallets, healthcare devices, smart grids, etc., etc. Most of the times, my friends that don't know why crypto key is so important. The crypto key is like the key to your house. You can have an alarm if a thief has got the keys, gonna get in. What is the alternative to protecting the key in an HSM? You can protect those keys, I would say more keep the keys in software. Let me explain it with an example. A key in software for me is like having the key in a vase, like that, exactly, in front of your house. Let's be a big vase, let's be heavy, complicated. I'm not saying that it's really easy to get a key out of software. Surely it's a lot more difficult is if your key is in a safe or in a bank vault. So that is the difference between keeping and protecting cryptographic keys associated to application in software or in hardware. So going back to your initial question, how do you drive the customer's agenda since there is an alternative? Education is the key. As a channel partner manager, I educate my partners on the differences and the perils of storing keys in software, especially for sensitive application or in hardware. And in turn, they explain it to their customers. And the customers decide what to do. Normally, that's how we drive the agenda. In most of the cases, once they know why the keys should be protected in HSM, that is the decision they take. And we do that for a variety of industries.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really good way of explaining it as well, for anyone that's, not as savvy to security, and just putting it into context. So you've explained it really well there. In terms of everything that's gone on recently, I mean, going into 2021, I want to ask you, where you see security tech trends going and how they will disrupt the market. I mean, in terms of the cloud, that's been quite prominent during this difficult time. So, what do you see disrupting the market?
Perfect. As you said, the cloud is one of the biggest trends. More and more organizations are using the cloud, even for what has been traditionally the domain of on-premises IT. Even HSMs, they used to be kept on premise, but now even Entrust has got their own NSAS offerings amongst other companies. This is because traditional IT cannot guarantee you the level of security in these COVID times when everybody is working remotely than when everybody was in the office and controlled by their IT department. What I see also is software solutions that are born in and for the cloud, not just moved to the cloud. The second biggest trend, I touched on it a little bit before because we secure it, is the IoT world. The IoT, what if you think, I'll make another real life examples. We have now washing machines, coffee machines, anything that apparently is digitally connected. Effectively, it's a computer. But when it comes to an office computer, everybody's protecting the antivirus, security. When it comes to anything else, security just an afterthought, and no one is protecting it. Recently, there's been a hacking of a coffee machine. It was a researcher. It was just to prove how IoT devices are not secure. But effectively, you would say, okay, Tiziana, what's the problem? It's a coffee machine. Imagine if that was a healthcare device. Imagine if that was an insulin pump. Someone could have died. And unfortunately, I believe government will take notice when that sort of hacking will happen and people will get hurt. At that point, regulations will be issued and companies will have to build all these devices with security, including an HSM.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really important to note as well. Like you're linking it there between something that doesn't actually affect us, but as soon as it might actually affect the public, then it might actually make a difference. Definitely. Okay, so in terms of career aspirations now, and what are your career aspirations, and where do you see your role in the next few years? Where do you see taking your channel role?
Perfect. I have to say that I'm quite happy with what I do at present. I probably want to grow my channel more.
Sure.
Because I think there's room for it, especially with the new offering of my company or our sister company, Entrust. I'd like to grow in my position, probably looking after and managing larger and more complex organizations, because I feel that is something I'd like to do to challenge myself, because my resellers are more traditionally like small outfits, but very, very specialized. Okay. So I think that's what I'd like to do next.
Good. It's good to like show your value within what you're doing at the moment, and knowing that you've got goals going into the future as well. So that's really good. So in terms of any tips that you can give people that might not be as savvy to security and to the wider audience, what tips can you give us?
Well, what I always advise my friends is not to do this Facebook or social media quizzes, the one that tell you which animal you are or which actor or actress you will be. Sometimes they're innocuous. Sometimes they ask you questions like, what's the name of your pet, or where were you born? And if you think carefully, those are the same questions asked by your bank.
Yeah.
For identity. So you are at risk of identity theft.
Yeah.
So, or sometimes the stealing of the data, or let's say the collecting, let's not call it stealing, is a bit more subtle. Still, sometimes it may be used to sell you the latest shoes or the latest clothes or makeup. Other times, exactly. Other times, there may be a more sinister scope to it, or they may be sold to someone else, innocently, but they'll be used for something different. So I would say, don't do that, please.
Yeah.
Also, something else is probably having a password manager. I don't believe passwords are the future. I think we should go to a passwordless world, but in the meantime, there are passwords everywhere, and they need to be lengthy and complicated.
Yeah.
That's where password manager can really help you and protect you from hacking and data stealing and identity theft.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really important one to know. For me, that resonates with me because I probably have one or two passwords for about everything. So I need to get on that myself, definitely. But listen, it's been wonderful chatting to you as always. Just to let the wider audience know, I'm going to be doing these chats with, my key clients every week, keeping everyone informed on, the different tech trends. So thank you so much for joining me today.
It's been a pleasure.
Always. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.